You're listening to the Service Business Marketing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping your service-based business grow and thrive using the latest technology in internet marketing. And now, here's the host of our show and the CEO of Grow Inc., Matt Law.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another Grow Inc. podcast. Super excited to be with you today. And today, I'm going to give you some really awesome training, but I've got some really big news to share with you about AI, how it's impacting Meta and automation. And we're really excited to share with you a new service that we are offering at Grow Inc. A lot of times customers are like, Matt, we want to work with you, but we just don't have the budget. We don't have the growth. We're not in the position yet where we can hire you. I think today you're going to be very excited about what I'm sharing. We are going to be talking about a new program called the Grow Inc. AI Accelerator Program, which is a pure lead generation system. I'm going to lay out for you the outline in this training, and this is exactly what you should do. So let me give you, again, another backstory. If you listen to the episode that we're dropping right before this one, all about Meta lead generation, you know that I spent a lot of money on Meta and building funnels for a previous training company in my agency. And really, we spent about, a little bit over $500,000. So I knew Meta really well, but they would not allow you to target very well for most service businesses. So a lot of clients I had, they did not have interest categories for those service businesses. And so it was kind of a dead thing for a long time. Well, with the increase in AI intelligence, now Meta looks at your creative and basically transcribes the video, looks at all the images, and then it says, okay, we know who they're targeting. And as the people that are in the need of one of your services, they slow down on that ad or they pause. Meta says, hey, they're interested in this. Let's show them an ad. And so with the advancements in Google's AI, and you look at Meta AI and all of these different modules, and then the new automation services that are equipped with AI, there is a tipping point where almost every service business should be able to implement this into their business. And so today, I want to tell you, this is coming very, very fast in 2026. And if you aren't on the cutting edge of using AI in your business for generating leads, for following up and making appointments, then I'm going to tell you you're behind, because your competitors are going to be there, because this is coming out very, very quickly. So today I want to talk to you about a lead generation campaign that we are putting together. So Jeff and I, Jeff is my partner, with some of the results we've had with our Meta campaigns and our Google ad campaigns, we're like, man, we're good at generating leads. And sometimes clients just need lead generation. And so we are excited to share with you a new package today. And I'm not trying to pitch you on this today, but I am going to tell you everything that's included in this package so you can see the blueprint for lead generation on Meta and Google, and also using local service ads. We'll talk about that a little bit. But this is a way you can spend money, get a return on investment, and you know exactly what you should do to see success. So I'm going to kind of dive through the program. First of all, you have to be spending on the key platforms. And so for us, the ones where you can spend and get immediate return on investment, I'm going to list 3 of them here for you that we're going to include. But down the road, we may add some other ones as well, and I'll talk about that. So number 1 is Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. So you combine those 2 together. That's where most of your customers are going to come from, because of the targeting is there and we can reach out to them. So this will be a multiple ad setup, which usually will be a web form, which I talk about in our previous training. It may also be a squeeze page. There'll be multiple ad campaigns. So if you do not get them the very first time, you'll be able to follow up with them with remarketing. So the goal for the Meta ad setup is to get as many leads as possible, as many cold leads as possible, to get them to fill out that form and to generate that lead. And so we're seeing cost per leads anywhere from sometimes $25 a day to upwards of $80 a day, depending on the campaign, whether we're using two-factor authentication. But what I'm telling you is that these people, as the leads come through, these are legitimate leads. They are booking onto calendars. And so there's a very, very high intent. So when you book the leads, our clients right now are booking about 40 to 50% of every lead that comes through. So think about how much you make in your business, and could you get a lead for $50? And if 50% of them come through, it's $100 per lead. It's pretty strong right now. So I will tell you, Meta Ads is number one. The second part that is key for lead generation is Google Ads. And so there are search campaigns. There are Performance Max campaigns once you know the conversion, and there is remarketing campaigns to get them to go back to the site. We also are going to do video campaigns on YouTube for remarketing, and there's a really good campaign you can do to just generate phone calls. And so we'll set those up. So the Google Ad Management means we set up those campaigns or improve those, and we set up the Meta campaigns, and we set up all the conversion tracking to capture the UTM data to see where these leads come from. And it's going to be a very, very powerful two-lead system. So with Meta and Google, we will drive those through form fills on the forms, and Instant Forms will also use a squeeze page for your location. And the last thing that we're going to include in our lead generation is Google Local Service Ads. I don't know if you're using LSA or you have an LSA, but we'll optimize it. We'll set it up so that you can start generating calls. This works well if you are an existing business and you have good reviews, but we'll help with the category and get all that set up. So those are the three ways that we can generate leads we know right now and generate a very good return on investment. And so if you're not using those three things right now, you're going to be very interested in what I'm going to share. So Matt, Google Ads have been around for a long time. Meta Ads have been around for a long time. What is changing everything? Well, it's because of the conversion engine and the settings and the things that are coming alive. So first of all, a squeeze page has been around forever. You've been to those. You go to a website and there's not a lot on the menu. It basically is to get you to call or to schedule or to fill out a form so that you can submit your information. And this is what's so cool with the new technology. As I start talking about AI in just a minute, you have to realize all of that can now be built in to a squeeze page. So before I go too much further with the squeeze page, let me talk to you about AI. So imagine if AI can be trained on your business, knows your hours, knows all the details of the cities you serve. It crawls all the pages of your website and reads it and knows everything about your company and your industry and your price lists, all of that. Imagine if it is connected to your online calendar, which can automatically book appointments right there. Imagine if it can have a conversation if people text in to your number on your website. Imagine if they call and it can talk to them and have a conversation with them and actually book leads over the phone. Imagine if when you generate a lead on Meta at 3 a.m, the next morning at 9 o'clock, it automatically calls them and has a conversation with them if they pick it up. If they don't, it sends a text with a link to schedule. I'm here to tell you guys, AI for small businesses is here. And if you can implement it and set it up, you're going to have a huge advantage over your competitors. And so if I sound excited, I really am. I'm really excited about what I'm going to share with you today because it's really powerful and it's not very expensive. So I'm going to share with you. So imagine driving traffic to this engine. Okay. Now picture this. On Meta for Facebook and Instagram, it would be a form fill. Once they fill out that form fill, then they could go right to a calendar to schedule. If they schedule, then they would be created as an opportunity. If they don't, there would be a follow-up until they get scheduled on your calendar. Right now, we're seeing a very high number of people scheduling. Secondly, if they don't do that form fill and it's a Google, they would go to a squeeze page, which would have a custom tracking number so we can see how many calls or generating for you through your pay-per-click campaign. It would also have a form that would capture where they came from, the campaign, all of that data, and we would measure that to see how many leads we generate and how many calls we generate. All of that is through a squeeze page. On that squeeze page, we'd also have a chat bot where it could talk to them and get them to schedule, answer any questions. On that page, we could also have a calendar, right? Which this calendar would allow them to book right onto your calendar. So it's very, very powerful if you drive traffic to the right pages. Now, let me talk to you about the online calendar booking. So either way, the goal for you as a service business owner is you don't need leads. You don't need people to call. You need booked appointments. And so the whole goal of this new campaign style or the AI accelerator that we're doing, it's to get them to go through your funnel. So we start off as a lead, but then how do we follow up with them to get them to book? Well, if you can put your jobs onto a Gmail calendar, right? If you could do that, or you have a technology that already does that, we can book jobs that integrates with a Google Calendar and a separate calendar where we text them a link right to do this. If they call in through AI, if they're texting through AI, the AI can actually book for them. It's very, very powerful. And now it does also outbound calling. But just remember, the calendar bookings are very, very important because that's what determines if you've got a meeting with a client, and it can, remind them to all of these things. So think about it like this: the squeeze page or the form in Meta, we're going to get the lead, then we're going to try to get them on the calendar. If they don't book, then we're going to follow up, and it's going to be through text message marketing. It's going to be through the AI calling and integration with that calendar. Or if they call even after hours, they can schedule right on your calendar. It's powerful. We'll also do some email automation, but a lot of emails go to promotions or to spam. And so texting and calling is going to be most important to stay in front of these customers, your customers. And that's why we're also doing remarketing. We will do email automation to nurture them on your unique selling points, but we will also remind them about their appointments and things like that. On top of that, as part of the automation, we're doing social media automation, because if they are looking at your Facebook page, then you're going to have other posts on there. All of this is managed through custom technology that we use at our in our company, and it's pretty powerful with some of the new innovations that have come out. So how do we track everything? How do we tell if it's working? And so we are going to use UTM and source tracking. Now, we've always done this for all of our campaigns, but for lead generation campaigns, we will add UTM data and pass. When someone clicks on a Google ad, it will go over to that website. If they fill out a form, we will know exactly, what campaign they came from, so we can track the ROI. Additionally, we will have call integration in there, which is through CallRail. So we'll be able to measure the number of inbound calls that come through that account. So all of that, we will have reporting and be able to track all of that. Very, very powerful. On the lead dashboard inside of the Grow Inc. account, every lead that comes in, we will be able to see how many leads come through there. We will also have that in the client's custom CRM, where they can move them from new lead to working to booked to closed, all the way through the system, and then they can fire off a review automation. And so when they move it to the next phase, it would actually allow them to get a review. So imagine after you close a job, you just drag the person over to the next phase. It sends them out a text and requests that they review your business on Google. It's very, very important. On top of that, we'll measure all of the analytics and figure out what's working. So you could see, if you're listening, you're tracking with me, it's very, very powerful to help communicate what's working. All of the leads, as I mentioned, will go into our client's Grow Inc. account, and they can go in and figure out how much revenue they've made on those jobs, which will allow them to figure out their return on investment. So you've got leads, and then they can say, hey, this converted, and now we can figure out the return on investment. So the good news is all the leads are going to be in a central spot in a CRM, one place where you can communicate and message them and call them, but one where you can figure out the return on investment. So we've got a lot of tracking and planning and technology to make sure this works really good. The onboarding for a campaign like this is actually really easy. We just need videos and images that you upload. We've got some really great video. We even have, some really good AI video stuff that we have been using, and it's powerful. So good so that you won't be able to tell it's AI. And if we end up chatting, I'll show you some of these videos. It's pretty mind-blowing. So the onboarding is pretty easy. And then once we have all that, we are ready to go live because we already have the infrastructure being built right now. It's in the works. So this is called the Grow Inc. AI Accelerator program. It is all about return on investment, spending on marketing and getting leads, and then having a system in place to book that appointment. And this is why a lot of our clients are doing the work, and they may have someone in the office that's calling leads and following up, but not enough for like the Meta leads. A Google lead is different. When they call from Google, they're calling you, they're, going to leave a message, they're calling and reaching out to your company. But Meta, you're interrupting them, and they're filling out a form or they're clicking over. And even with really, really good copy, if they fill out that form, more than likely, they're not going to call from Meta the middle of the night. What they're going to do is fill out a form, and you need a way to follow up. And that's where the AI follow up through text, through email, all about answering their questions, getting them on the calendar for you so that you can pitch them. And so we are super excited to announce this new campaign, this new program that is going to go live for us on January 1st of 2026. And so all of what I share with you is a ton of work that we are building and have been building and have been testing with our clients that are doing full growth campaigns. So we have clients that are doing, SEO and pay-per-click and all of these other things. And we've been slowly just testing out, hey, how can we get a better ROI? How can we integrate, these meta ads? How can we integrate AI automation and these squeeze pages to generate more leads? And here's what I'm going to tell you. It's working really good, and we're very excited about it. But as Jeff and I were talking the other day, sometimes people are like, Matt, I get messages all the time. Thank you for your podcast. I really appreciate all you share, and I want to work with you guys, but it's like I don't have the money, and it's hard. So we have our Kickstarter packages, which are a couple $1,000s a month, but it's a commitment for, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, depending on how fast or how long the campaign is going to go on. But that's like a new website. It's helping brand, and maybe it's a little video, and it's the most important things you need to do to win in the long run. But even on our Kickstarter campaign, it's foundational, where you won't grow super fast because most companies can't invest in ad spend. They can't invest in Google local service ads or PPC with Google ads or with Meta ads. And so it's a slower growth. It's SEO, it's local. It's all the important things that we try to do to get a company from, say, a couple 100,000 to, upwards of $1 million. And then they could participate in a partnership and a growth campaign. So our partnership campaign is where we will do everything custom CRMs. I mean, every form of marketing that takes a company to win. And so those are more expensive, $5,000 and up. And then there's also bonuses when we hit certain revenue goals. And so that's our ideal client to partner with. And so where does that leave out the company that is like, Matt, I need help managing leads. And if we can get that working right, if you fill up my calendar, then we can fix SEO and some of this long-term stuff. And so we're super excited to share the Grow Inc. AI Accelerator program, is going to be launched on January 1st. And I've got a special deal for our first 10 clients. I'm going to go through it with you and just going to lay it all out there for you. So I know there's a lot of you listening that will be excited about it. So first of all, if you are interested in doing this, I have a special offer, a 3-month promotion. Normally the price starts at $14.95 per month for all the things that you get, the call tracking, the squeeze pages, the CRMs, all of that. It usually starts at $14.95, but that is without Google Ads. We are doing so normally with Google Ads, it would be $19.95. We are doing a special promotion for 3 months where it's only $995 a month for video, lead gen, automation, AI, all of that, squeeze pages, all built in, the call tracking, onboarding, all of that for a 3-month minimum of $995 or $2,985. And you will be one of our 10 first clients that are going to be on our AI Accelerator program. Now, I'm going to lay all of this out for you and go through the details because it isn't for everyone. And so let me lay out a couple of who this is for. So if we charge you $995 for 3 months, and we have lots of expenses in there with the AI, the calls, all of that. If we charge you $995, okay, there's very little profit in there for us on this campaign. And why we are doing this, I should just say, is because we are looking to add more case studies. So we have clients that are all doing various forms of marketing. Some are doing SEO, some are doing, local search, but this is an intensive lead generation campaign where you would pay us $2,985, which is $995 for a month for 3 months. Total to get started, $2,985 by January 1st. You got to pay all 3 months by December 1st, and you have to qualify for this as well. So I'll go through that. But you would need to have $3,000 in essence saved, which will go through all the technology, the AI, all of the stuff that we are going to create for you, the video, the ads, all of that. And then you will also need ad spend. And so to see success in Meta and on Google Ads, first of all, you have to have a big ticket item or enough of a big ticket item where you can get a good return on investment. So if you're only, you're doing a very small ticket item, and you don't have big ticket items to upsell or to sell, it probably won't work really well for you. You probably could break even, but you're not going to get a great return on investment. So let's say you've got ticket items that are like maybe about 5,000 to 10,000 and bigger jobs, then that's really, really good because with those ads and with the pay-per-click, we can drive traffic to your site. You can generate leads, and then you should be able to get a fantastic return on investment. So imagine you're making, let's say you've got 10,000, 15,000, even higher end products, right? And you can do a lead gen campaign like we are doing. Then we will be saying, hey, you would be a good fit for this. So you would need $995 a month for Grow Inc., which we're to give the discount, we're committing the work for these 10 clients that we're going to take on. You have to have it all due upfront, $2,985 by January 1st to Grow Inc. And then you don't have any payments for January, February, or March. And then at the end of March, we will continue to give a better discount depending on what lead services you are doing. So either $14.95 or keep it at $9.95 for ongoing as many leads as you can generate, and giving you full service, all of that, all of the AI, all of the tools. It would stay the same or go up a little bit if you're including Google Ads. But here's what I'll tell you. We're giving a huge discount over those first 3 months. One, because we want to test out all of the stuff that we are seeing for our larger scale clients on just lead campaigns. And the other reason we're doing it is because we are looking for case studies and testimonials, video testimonials. So there's going to be a couple things that we are going to ask you for if the campaign is successful, like it's been for everybody else. And so breaking it down for you, $9.95 a month. You have to have all 3 months ready to go. It's only for the first 10 people who sign up for that by completing the application and scheduling with me and letting me know they want to do this. It is a new contract for us because we've never done a contract like this. So it's a little bit different. So we're going to be finalizing all of those details and everything. By January 1st, you'll have to have all your creatives in. We will begin working on the creatives and getting everything ready in November and December and everything ready to go. And then what's great is you will go live right in January 1st, and you will have all of your AI, all of these things set up. Maybe depending on how things go and with other clients, it may be in the first couple of weeks in January, but we'll be working on that depending on when people sign up. You're getting a discount of over $3,000, but this is what makes it powerful, right? If you spend, let's say you spend $10,000 in ads, right, and $3,000 with us, that's $13,000 investment. Here's what I know. If you can generate, I'll give you an example. If you're at $50 a lead, let's say you're at that through Meta, Google, and we'll figure out which is the best platform for you to generate. Let's say it's $50 a lead, and out of that $3,000, let's kind of just do the math. So we do $9,000 over 3 months divided by $50 per lead. That's 180 leads. And right now we're seeing appointments at right around 50%. Now, keep in mind, our AI is going to call them and reach out, but we're also going to encourage you to reach out and call them as well. So let's say you book 50% of those appointments, which we would hope that you would do. So we got 180 divided by 2. That gives you 90 appointments. And let's say you close only 25%, 0.25%. We'll give you 22 jobs. Now, what is your average profit on 22 good jobs? Well, hopefully it's a couple $1,000s on a job, and you're looking at $45,000 in profit. The numbers have to work for your business. And during our call, we will figure that out, because if they don't, I'll just say, the numbers don't work. But for most service businesses, they will. So let me break this down as I kind of wrap up. And I think this is our first promotional podcast I've ever done. And so forgive me for that, but I'm very excited about the new service and what I'm sharing with you and what I see coming out in 2026. And so I'll recap it here in a second, but let me just kind of break everything down. Again, $9.95 a month is only valid for the first 10 businesses, and it's only good until January 1st of 2026. Going to be on vacation the last week of Christmas, so don't delay if you're interested in this. It's only valid to the first 10 businesses. You will need to pay $9.95 for the first 3 months, which is $29.85, which will be due by January 1st. It's a 3-month contract, and then after that, it's no contract at all. You will have to have ad spend, and you will have to provide creatives. And the other thing you'll have to do is be able to put your jobs or your schedule on a Google Calendar so that people can book through the AI. You don't need to get a phone number or anything like that. We'll handle all that. We'll do all the call tracking, all of the reporting, all of that will be done. And we'll walk you through the entire process. We have been doing this, for a long time. So it's just our first time opening it up to, smaller companies or companies that just want to try lead generation. If you already have an agency, you could keep them if they're doing like SEO and things like that. That's fine. They won't get in our way. The only thing is we would need to set up a Google ad account for you just for leads. If you want to do Google ads, it will probably drive traffic to a subdomain. So we would set that up and have all that ready. But it's probably good not to do 2 ad campaigns at one time. So you could have us test with one or another. So those are some of the options. Now, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at Matt, MATT, @grow.inc. That's GRO.INC. That's my email address, and you can reach out there. The best way, though, is going to be to go to our website at grow.inc and to request our free resources. There's a ton of cool resources there, by the way, if you haven't already requested them. Our book, which is also available in MP3 format. You can read it on Kindle as well. And then there's videos and all kinds of just helpful stuff there. And then what you'll need to do is fill out the application. I will look at it really quick, and then I will get you approved. In your application, you can just mention you're interested in the lead campaign, and then we'll set up a call, and I can walk you through the process of that. And then once you're good to go, we will send you over the contract and give you a link for all of the things that you need to upload and what we need from you. And we will be ready to do lead generation for you. And I know I went through a ton on what's in that program, but this is the powerful reason why it works right now. When people generated leads through Meta and they did not have a way of following up, they would fall through the cracks. So we would have systems in place. But one of the things I talk about on our podcast, and one of the things I've talked about with you, is like you have to have someone that knows how to answer the phone. Right? You got to have good salespeople. Like, this is what I've shared with you about systems and scaling your business. What this does is it takes two really important components. One is lead gen, which, thankfully we're really good at. And then marketing automation, which we've been doing, forever. But now with AI, man, guys, it's powerful. And so I'm excited to share, excited to try this out with some new clients. And again, it's limited to the first 10 people that are signed up. And so we really can't handle more than that in this time. And the reason we are doing that again is because we are looking for somebody that wants a deal. It's like, hey, Matt, I've been following you for a while. I want a deal. And you trust us to set up your ads, someone that has the budget to invest in that early on in the year. If it works great, it could be a big, big win for you. I imagine most everybody's going to get a really good return on investment based on what I am seeing right now. And then we're also looking for people that want to, help us with a testimonial. If it works good and you want us to keep going on, we'll give you the discount ongoing for your business, a $500 a month minimum discount. We'll lock in your price. We won't raise it. And it should just keep going really, really well with the automation and the creatives. And so we'll be happy to do that for you. But really what I'm looking for is to get, 10 testimonials of people saying, hey, here's what the accelerator program did. And maybe we can find a win-win and help each other out. So I appreciate you listening to our podcast. Means a lot. I get a lot of emails and calls, and it just encourages us that, we're helping some people to learn marketing and make their business better. I love it when I meet a client and they start showing me stuff on their website and they're like, well, this isn't too bad. You're doing a good job. And they're like, well, that wasn't from our previous agency. That's what I learned from you. So it's always encouraging when, they're making changes to their business and all of that. So today's podcast, if you listen to the other one about Meta lead ads, when I walk through that entire blueprint, right? So think about that, and then think about AI, and then think about Google Ads best practices, all combined into one. And then that's what our AI accelerator package is. It's all the things you should be doing for lead gen and for follow-up, and putting it into nice one little package for $9.95 a month. That's only for the first 10 clients. So appreciate you listening. Zero pressure. If you have any questions, you just want to talk, you're welcome to reach out. Happy to answer any questions you have. I hope your business is doing well, cheering for you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. For more information about Grow Inc. and to request our free marketing blueprint ebook and other resources, please visit www.grow.inc. That's GRO.inc. We'll catch you in the next episode.